Hello, my name is Renee Hone, and today I will be giving a brief overview of the history of special education, touching on a couple of key court cases and recommending a few helpful resources to ensure you stay up to date with current legal trends in special education. Before the 1970s, students with disabilities often had no legal right to attend any public schools. Unfortunately, this meant that students were either sent to separate institutions that had little to no access to quality education, or they would be excluded entirely. In 1971, the case Pennsylvania Association for Retarded Children versus Commonwealth of Pennsylvania set a precedent with a ruling that children with intellectual disabilities had the right to a free public education. At around the same time, another court case in 1972, which was the Mills versus Board of Education of the District of Columbia, expanded these rights to all children with disabilities, stating they have equal protection under the 14th Amendment. Because of these cases, the Education for All Handicapped Children Act, which is now known as Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, was passed by Congress in 1975. This made sure students with disabilities were guaranteed the right to a free and appropriate public education and emphasized support services, inclusion, and parental involvement. Since then, there have been an evolution in special education with IEPs, 504s, and enhanced special education services with greater accessibility, accountability, and respect for students' rights. The two court cases that I will be talking about are the Board of Education versus Rowley and the Honig versus Doe. The Board of Education versus Rowley 1982 case was the first U.S. Supreme Court case to interpret IDEA. This case involved a deaf student named Amy Rowley who was given some accommodations at her school, but she was denied a sign language interpreter. Her parents sued the school because they believed she was not being given a free, appropriate public education. The case ended with the Supreme Court ruling that there is not a requirement for schools to maximize a student's potential, only to provide them with access to an education that will provide an educational benefit. The second case, Honig versus Doe, happened in 1988, and it addressed the rights of students with disabilities in disciplinary situations. Two students that were considered emotionally disturbed in California were suspended indefinitely because of behaviors that were occurring due to their disabilities. This resulted in the Supreme Court ruling that schools cannot unilaterally expel students with disabilities for behaviors that are linked to their disability. There are due process procedures linked to IDEA that must be followed. This case reinforced that any disciplinary actions that are given must be given after the consideration of if the behavior is a manifestation of the student's disability, which protects their rights to a free, appropriate public education. 4 resources that can help with staying up to date with legal trends in special education are the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Special Education Programs, which has updates on federal laws and guidance. Rights Law is a site that explains special education laws and gives advocacy strategies. The Council for Exceptional Children offers professional development options and best practices, and the Arizona Department of Education's Exceptional Student Services provides several resources along with trainings and legal updates. Through ensuring we completely understand the laws and stay up to date with legal trends with these resources, we can better advocate for all of our students and ensure equitable, quality education for every learner.